Set.
Okay, listen up, because I'm only saying this one fucking time.
He's only saying it once, so Big Jim, pay attention, okay?
That's why we got replay.
Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm really digging the whole beard afro ginger look. I don't know where his shirt is, but I'm really enjoying it.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bull Talk with Big Jim podcast.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Some of the information you are about to hear, some may find disturbing.
I don't know who gave them this or who gave them the clearance. On the crotch.
Oh my lord.
Right there.
Can we Google that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I fucking stumbled down a dark hole and I love it.
Great keg parties. You know, if I'm going to believe anybody's bullshit, I'm going to believe mine.
It sounds not politically correct, but
You two motherfuckers need Jesus.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and boners, all the big boners out there.
That's you.
Welcome back to the Bo Talks with Big Jim podcast. We are your hostesses with the mostesses. That kind of sounds awkward, doesn't it?
Kind of sounds kind of feminist.
Feminist. We are your hosts with the most. I am Bo, of course, with me. God, Jesus Christ.
Start over.
Joined with me. I can't even start. No. I'm Bo. That's Big Jim. I'm not. Yeah. Let's just leave. That's it.
I'm Big Boner. He's Baby Boner.
I'm big. Stop saying that, dude. That sounds so bad.
Hey, we need the audience. Pedophiles. I'm right in.
That sounds so bad. I can't believe that's like a thing. I honestly, how is that a thing, dude? No, you know what else I can't believe is a thing, like when it comes to like what's it called, like fetishes. Shit that, like, when people can't breathe, you know what I mean?
Suffocation.
Yeah.
Or asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't.
It's fucking weird. Like this, right? Can't put that song on. So for those who are just listening, there's a person in a vacuum sealed bag with a tube to breathe out of. You can see their hands, the head, shoulders, and arms.
Dude, that's like Han Solo.
Yeah. And
there's someone in there?
Yeah, there's someone in there, and there's another person recording this and rubbing their chest.
And they're getting off on that?
I guess so. I mean, look at how they're breathing.
Geez, Jim, you have too much time on your hand. You need a second job.
I told you. I told you, like I said in the episode, when I'm going to the bathroom, I got solid 5 minutes of stuff to find.
You better cut that shit time to half.
I'll try. So this episode is a pretty special one. It's no crazy murder stories. It's no, well, I guess you could say paranormal ghost.
It's just a story.
It's just a personal story. It's a story from him and a story from both of us, really. That we talk.
Somebody we lost 6 years ago, coming up on the anniversary date, so we thought we'd share some stories.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, her anniversary will be tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah.
So, Nani, we love you. We miss you. And we can't wait to see you again.
No, I can wait. I can wait. I got a few more things to do. I can wait.
But yeah, this is gonna be just a kind of like a hangout, very close personal episode. So I hope everybody enjoys it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful 2021. By the way, this is episode 34 now for us. Episode 34. We've been doing this for quite a while now.
We got a lot more.
Please be sure, like I've always mentioned, follow us on Instagram. We have a Twitter. Go to our FLOWPAGE. That's where everything is at. Website will be coming soon, by the way. I'm actually working on that. So that's a nice little key information for you. But for now, go to flow.page/BTWBJ, and there you can find all of the links to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of that, all the good stuff. If you have any questions, just give us a shout out or give us a holler on any one of the social media platforms. And I hope you. Oh, hold on, before we start the episode, I literally kept free. I also was extremely drunk the last episode, but Desiree from Epidemic Ales, the sales rep. Thank you. This is your shout out. I meant to do this a while ago, and I'm so sorry. Thank you, because of you, him and I were able to get those amazing beers, which still, yeah, fucking amazing.
Have to find them at a farmer's market on this side of town, or go to the brewery, but they're usually located at a farmer's market during the weekend.
Yes. So thank you, Desiree, very much for putting us together with Epidemic Ales. It was amazing. Thank you. For everyone who's listening and or watching, please go check out Epidemic Ales. I'll put the description and the link below to their website. And I'll also link Desiree's Instagram page. So again, thank you very much. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here is episode 34 of Botox with Big Jim. Technically, there's not going to be a actual story of like murder or poltergeist or anything like that. We're just gonna have we got a couple stories to tell, and I got a couple things to show you that I found interesting on the internet recently.
To show me or show the world?
Both. Let's go with both. Preferably you though, because your reaction is going to be pretty good. I already know.
Okay. Well, I definitely have a story for everybody.
Yes. Yeah. We try to get that story out. Shit. When was that? Like in November?
I initially tried to record it. I do have it recorded on my phone, but it's too large of a transfer. And then I tried figuring it out. And so it's stored in my phone. Jim just never got it, but it's something that happened between me and his grandmother. And it's a story that I'll tell every time I get a chance.
Yeah. Well, before you tell that story, let's do some business first. Part of the podcast. Sure. Everyone listening, thank you who had joined us for 2020. 2020 is now over. This is actually the first episode of the new year.
I guess so, huh?
Yeah, this is the first episode of the new year. We're about a week in, and it's been a pretty interesting journey so far. You and I are almost at 1 year.
What, doing the podcast?
Yeah, April. April makes 1 year.
No,
April 24th, I think, 14th or the 24th. But it's been pretty cool. I mean, obviously the growth has come along with it. It's a slow climb. I say this every time I post something on Instagram. If you guys follow us on Instagram, I'm the one that's the stage. It's not a stagecoach. Who's the person that sits on the stagecoach? Do you know the name?
A stagecoach rider, driver, cowboy.
I'm the cowboy.
Yeah. Okay.
Of Instagram. I am the cowboy and boner keeper of Instagram.
Jesus. Pantless. I'm assuming you have pantless chaps on too.
Assless chaps, sir. Assless. Well, we have we're creeping up on almost 100 subscribers on YouTube. We just passed the 300 followers on Instagram. And how many followers do we have on Twitter? Do we have any followers yet?
Nah, just a couple. But I mean, there's somebody that I want to talk about that I found on Twitter, and she's got a pretty good podcast, but I'll plug her at the end of the show.
Okay. So with that being said, if you can, please leave a subscribe to our YouTube channel, a like, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That also greatly helps us. We get put on podcast charts to obviously get us more recognizable through a bunch of other people. Leave a comment, whether it's in one of our Instagram posts or even in our YouTube posts. We'll definitely mention it.
It could just be a one-word comment. It could be an emoji, a one word, doesn't matter. The
By
fact
the
of it
way-
is, all we're trying to do is just establish a ground to entertain people.
Yeah, something.
That's all. It's just
And
entertainment.
come to find out, I just saw that we have our first 1-star review. Now I don't know if it's actually published just yet, but I saw it the other day. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
A 1-star?
Yeah, we were at shit. What was it? It was our podcast reviews. It would always say like 5.0 with however many reviews we have. And the other day I went to go look and it said 4.8, and I was like, oh shit. And I go to the reviews, and sure enough, someone left a 1-star review. Yeah, 4.8. Let me see if I can get down to the reviews. So it doesn't actually show us the 1-star. I think someone just put a 1-star.
Come
Which
on.
is fun. At least leave a reason for it, you know?
Yeah, that's room for us to grow. Fuck. Come
Yeah.
on, people.
We
Grow up.
can work on our shit that we can become professional on.
I don't know about that, but
Well,
we can improve.
like I said, if you can, please just give us a follow, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter. There is a Facebook page, but I don't even know how that shit operates, to be honest. Which is ironic because I jumped from MySpace to Facebook, and I took a 6-year hiatus of all social media, and I come back and everything is different.
I never signed up for Facebook.
Don't do it because it's just a bunch of political shit now. It's quite irritating.
If it wasn't for this, I'd get off Instagram,
but Instagram's fun. This and TikTok. Instagram
I just don't
and
like
TikTok.
Zuckerberg.
Well, I mean, he kind of owns Instagram anyways.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't.
But Instagram, TikTok are the only two things where I really get my media. And a lot of the times that shit's fake half the time. But you know what? I get a kick out of it. So fuck off, people.
It's kind of the point of this whole podcast, just to get people a kick out of it.
Yeah, a little bit. But speaking of TikTok, you know what's really not cool is when people get upset, right? And a lot of people, especially online, they post stuff, and what they do is they kind of put it out there to the ether, so to speak, you know what I mean? And it kind of either does one of two things: either it reflects negatively or it reflects positively. I don't know about this video, but this guy seems pretty upset when it comes to his wife being on TikTok. Either his wife being on TikTok or someone getting upset about his wife being on TikTok. So give me 1 second. Oh, no. He gets upset.
Okay, listen up, because I'm only saying this one fucking time.
He's only saying it once, so Big Jim, pay attention, okay?
That's why we got replay.
Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm really digging the whole beard afro ginger look. I don't know where his shirt is, but I'm really, really enjoying it.
That's more of a chest hair beard afro look.
He's quite pasty also. Here we go.
Yep.
To you motherfuckers that are saying that we are acting, that is my fucking wife, for fuck's sake!
Hi, guys.
Did you hear? He said that's my fucking wife, and in the background she goes, "Hi guys."
I see her. So what's he yelling about?
I don't know. It's
Her
funny.
and I been married for almost 4 fucking years!
Showing off the ring and everything.
Oh, I thought she was throwing
Fuck up! Those two are a couple!
Oh,
Their 2 years is coming up! So I suggest you all
that's just
What?
okay. Hold
Just
on.
keep going. I want to
shut
see
the
what.
fuck up, grow a pair of fucking balls, and listen to the fucking truth! Okay.
So that last part of the video, like I said, that seems a little scary. Because well, two things that seem pretty scary in this whole video. Homeboy got a little upset about people, I guess, saying that him and his wife aren't married. I don't know. I just
I'm more interested and want to know why that the dude in the background was in pajamas, kneeling down, kissing the chick in the wheelchair.
Well,
That was kind of
they're married also, according to what he just said. But yeah, no, seriously, same. I had the same question too because that was like odd. She en- uh, embraced him, like this, and just it kind of seemed like a mother holding her kid kind of thing.
I don't know. This is just the fact that they're in their pajamas, flip flops, house shoes. They probably got about 3 or 4 cats on the couch.
Oh, I'm sure they have cats.
Probably smoke in the house. Got a pile of Mountain Dew and Coors Light cans in the kitchen.
Oh,
And
actually,
Taco Bell wrapping everywhere.
Speaking of Coors Light, check this out. I found this other thing on TikTok also. Oh, 1 second. So remember how we had on Mike, the crime scene cleaner?
Yeah. USMC.
Another porterhouse. You can see there are beer bottles as far as the eye can see, all the way to the ceiling. Cartons upon cartons of cigarettes.
What the is that Mike?
No, this is someone else, but because I follow his stuff, crime scene cleaning on TikTok, they actually got a lot of people. They got 2.9 million followers.
Holy shit.
So for those who are just
cigarette cartons,
yeah, right here, all of these, that's cigarette cartons. So for those just listening, we're on the truth telling app TikTok, and literally literally there is a home that these I'm assuming this was a hoarder, obviously, and these people are going in to clean this house, and there is how tall is a door frame normally?
6'8".
6'8".
6'8".
So
Just say 6. The ceiling is almost 8 foot, so say 6'8".
So
the
there's
cartons are nearly to the top of the door jamb of
yeah
a damn interior door
of the
from
inside of someone's house
to the height of a door, and on the camera it goes from one wall to another. It could be 10 feet, it could be 13 feet.
Yeah,
that's a lot of safe. If that dude ain't dead or people aren't dead,
just wrong. Just wait, that's just cigarettes.
And we're gonna go around and check the back now, but just so you have a perspective.
That's beer. All of this is beer, all right here. And again, for those just listening, there is a literal mountain of beer bottles that is now touching the ceiling on the opposite end of this room.
I'll give it to him, dude. The dude had a good. I like the beer, Michelob Amberbach. That they don't sell that here in California that I know of, but that was some good beer. And I think he has those KFC chicken.
This is another porterhouse. You can see there are beer bottles.
Good Lord.
As far as the eye can see.
Insane, right?
And you found this on TikTok?
Oh, buddy, I can find a lot of things on TikTok.
See, I can't get into that like that. I mean, Mom is obsessed with TikTok. I just sit here and look at her. She'll have headphones on, laughing or grossed out or something, and I was like, why don't you just get off of it? I can't.
No, it is very addictive because now, from what I understand, when it comes to like everyone's attention spans, especially with these phones, it is drawing us and keeping us for that 15, 30, or 60-second time period. That's what we can grasp onto. That's why people nowadays, it's hard for them to actually go to school and do shit because they can't sit there for over an hour and listen to someone talk.
Yeah, it's all on segment. It's like everything's a segment, and I agree. And these fucking people when they go back to work, the workforce is gonna suck for a long time unless these people truly are in a dire strait and they need to go back to work. And God forbid we still keep the world shut in, but everyone's addicted to this shit. It's ridiculous. I mean, I find amusement out of a lot of it. I really do. And obviously you
Oh, I find plenty of amusement out of it.
and here's the thing, you have a full-time job and you're a full-time parent and you're a home. I mean, you have a life.
But see, I can squeeze that in. For instance, a lot of the times when I find this shit is typically when I'm taking a shit. That's a solid 5 to 10, maybe 8 minutes where I can just relax, let the bowels flow, and let the fingers scroll. That's a good one. That's good. I like that.
Oh shit.
By the way, quick big shout out to Eric, Mr. Eric Rubio on Instagram at Lino714. He is the supplier of our cool hats that y'all see.
It says, I just look suspicious.
That's all. We just look suspicious.
That's
we ain't
it.
real suspicious. We just look suspicious.
And what's interesting, you can tell that, I like the hat for what the words reflect, but there's a lot of youngsters. I wore this hat to Costco shopping basically. And a lot of the youngsters like, hey man, I like the font and all the little details with the cross and the X's.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn, I didn't find that until they pointed it out to me. I was like, oh yeah, it's my son's buddy. I'll give him a plug. But yeah, no, I got a lot of good response from wearing this hat.
Me too. Actually, the first response that I got was being pulled over by a cop. It's literally 15 minutes after I put this hat on, I started driving to my day job, like you just said. And by the way, I'm gonna flip this hat around, but I'm very lucky that the cop didn't really screw me over, because the day before I was trying to find my daughter's birth certificate, which surprisingly was in my car. I didn't know it was in my car. And it was in my glove box. So I pull everything out of my glove box. We start ciphering through all the stuff, and we end up finding it. Well, I forgot to put myself back into my car. So when I got pulled over, he clocked me at going 80, and I didn't have my registration. And for those who know, I just recently moved and my license has not been updated yet. What was the other one? Oh, I got a fix-it ticket because my right brake light is out. And then he would have given me a speeding ticket, but I told him where I worked and that I'm literally on my way to work. And I even showed him my ID for my job. And he's like, all right, well, slow down, get that brake light fixed and get out of here. So, Eric, the hat works perfect, man. I only look suspicious.
It did its job.
It did its job. So, for those who followed us on the New Year's and end of the year special, we were supposed to have you tell a story, and unfortunately, we got way too drunk and spoke way too long. By the way, I re-listened to that. I do not know how I got through that story.
I was confused halfway through, dude. That's why I was like, we can't do a 3-hour show no more and drink. No way.
I mean, I still have the cans right here.
Oh, no.
Dankster all day.
No. I mean, it was fun. You got to listen to it in segments, but it's definitely something you're not going to be able to get through the whole freaking thing.
It's a lot. And
it's fun. It was fun. We always have a good time with the group, Amanda and Cassidy.
That's the funny part, is that I was watching it on YouTube, and literally Amanda and me were like the drunkest, because both of us were like looking like this by the end of the fucking show. And you and Cassidy were like, yeah, all right, we can keep going, guys. But
We were. I was fueled. I was fueled off of her. She was pumped. Amanda was there with her left eye. One eye was closing and everything. That's when I knew she was wasted. I was like, wake up, Amanda.
I was in the middle of the story and I was like, fuck, I don't know how I can read this. I think I even reread 2 things twice.
You may have. We repeated ourselves.
Yeah.
So
But that was fun though. That was a really fun episode.
It was a good show. It was a good time. Good to see each other and still in good spirits, even though everybody is just way over this shut in and quarantine, but it's necessary.
It is.
Your brother tested positive and we had a whole scare. We're still in, he technically is quarantined till the 8th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was scary. It's to finally acknowledge that it's in your own home. There was a couple of nights I stayed awake wondering what was going to happen. It psychologically will fuck you up if you just play it over. And we're lucky.
Yeah,
we were very lucky. Nobody's in the hospital. We were able to stay home, control any of the symptoms that we have, get ahead of it, do whatever. The bottom line is this shit's not a joke.
It's not a joke, but it is kind of okay. I'm not gonna get conspiracy theorists on you, but I kind of am. Don't you find it kind of odd someone like your other son, who, as some of us know, and I'm gonna put his business out there, but he has a collapsed lung. 1 collapsed lung.
2.
Both
collapsed.
His fucking lungs, okay, so something that you need to breathe to live on this earth. And he has the coronavirus, which is killing thousands upon hundreds of thousands, every minute or something like that. But he comes out of it fine. Now, I'm not jinxing him or saying anything.
Yeah, it's not jinx that. I mean, that's what kept me awake, knowing the fact that he does have a severe pulmonary issue. Your grandfather smokes like a train. He's 78 years old. Knock on wood. He's doing well.
Mm-hmm. But it's just odd that so many people are dying. But from what me and my wife were talking we were talking the other night, and it actually was 95% of the people who have died so far from corona had other complications,
pre-existing.
Not just coronavirus. So
well, see, we're in that category. We're in that category. Me, your brother, your little brother, you.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother has an immune suppression. She has no thyroid. She takes thyroid replacement medication. Your grandfather, your grandmother who's just recovering from breast cancer, your other aunt who has only 1 lung. So yeah, no, it is truly head scratching, but all I can say is that we're just fucking lucky that we're not in the ICU. So
very. Yeah, because I spoke with somebody from my day job, and she recently went back home to Montana. I think she said Montana or Wyoming, one of those two, but the real rural areas. And she said she was like, yeah, people in over here, I mean, it's bad. It's bad because their ICUs and their hospitals are not as big as like Kaiser's over here in California. So their hospitals are packed right now with people, which makes sense. I mean, if it's not that big of a hospital.
Sure.
So
they're not fitted for this eradication. I mean, it's too big. It's not a common flu. I don't know. I wish everybody the best. There's no reason for us to continue dealing with this shit now, all the new strains and all the new whatever. And you got that idiot pharmacist who destroyed 50,000 vaccine bottles.
What?
Yeah, some dude in Wisconsin. He was a pharmacist, also a conspiracist. He destroyed 50 vials of the vaccine.
50 or 50,000?
50,000. Sorry, 50,000. On purpose.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. You tell me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez. All right. Well, that's
driving people crazy.
There's
a lady that I watch on YouTube. and her channel name is the Patriot Nurse. Now, she is kind of radical, but she makes a lot of points. She is an ER nurse, and way back before this corona got as large as it was, she started throwing out some ways to help suppress it. So if you get a chance, the Patriot Nurse, check out her channel. She's got some bright, well, you be the judge on how you want to watch her channel. So she's very opinionated.
Very opinionated.
Yeah. She's good. I like her channel though. She's bad.
Okay. Well, so let's hear that story that you were supposed to tell over this last episode. Which again, if you haven't heard it yet, or if you haven't heard our last episode yet, it is available right now. Spotify, Apple, Google, and YouTube. It's the end of the year special with Amanda and Cassidy from Drinking the Kool-Aid podcast. Ladies, we can't thank you enough. Every time you guys come on, you two come on, it's a blast every single time. But Big Jim, what is your story that you were supposed to tell?
Yeah, okay, I'll tell it again. This story involves somebody who obviously has been really special to a lot of people. And then coming on to her 6-year anniversary of her passing in January, I thought it'd be fit for me to tell a story that her and I shared. So those her name was Marlene, which is Jim's grandmother, Stacy's mom. So we had already moved out to Arizona. So it was Jim, myself, Joaquin, and Stacy. We decided to come back for the weekend. It was some extended holiday break. So we shot back to California and we stayed here in the Bay Area, visited families and friends. And the day we were leaving, we stopped off at Marlene and Tim's house, which is Jim's grandparents. So we said goodbye. And Marlene she's just, stayed to herself. If you didn't mess with her, she wasn't going to mess with you. She was in her home. You could always find her. Anybody needed anything from her, you just come knock on the door. So she basically isolated herself. She loved being alone. No big deal. She wasn't spontaneous. She wasn't on the spot type thing. Everything had to be processed and it had to go through her head to make sure that she was ready to get up and do anything. So we're getting ready to leave. Now, this story, basically, the reason why I'm telling it, because it has to do with instinct, intuition, supernatural, and prediction. And I'll go over those all at the end of the story. So she jumps up and says, hey, I want to go back with you guys. Now, mind you, her mom at the time, so this was 20-something years ago. So she was probably in her late 40s, early 50s. So she gets up. We're walking out the door. She said, hold on, I want to go with you guys. Totally out of her character just to jump up and get in the car, which was fine. The boys were small. She was a small lady. So we packed her up, got in the car. We went to Southern California for a couple of days. Now, in the process of all this, got a hotel. We did some visitor stuff. We went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sunset Boulevard. We went to Venice Beach. And when we were walking down Venice Beach Boardwalk, she started saying something to the effect like, hey, quit spritzing water on me. So basically she had these tingling sensations in her face and her arms and in her neck. So we thought it was kind of funny. We just thought she was making a joke of the area. We just thought she was just talking crazy.
Well,
now,
yeah,
mind you,
keep in mind, she for those who don't know, she did say some not off the wall, but some funny shit quite a few times. She always
said funny. She was a very earthy woman. She was a hippie. Went through the 60s. She has a lot of stories. She knew a lot of famous hippie people. She was the iconic symbol of the 60s flower child to a T. So she was very earthy, like I said, and she loves spirituality type things. So you can't get more spiritual other than Tibetan monks. Well, there's a Tibetan store on the boardwalk. So we're walking up the stairs and we go into the store and she's like, hey, quit spritzing me with water. She thought we were flicking water on her. Well, we weren't doing any of that. So later that day, we kept walking. We thought it was still kind of funny. Maybe she, I don't know if she had drinking or not, but maybe. So we went and had lunch, had some drinks, went to the room. We stayed a night at the hotel.
You just thought she was drunk and
Or needed a
thinking
drink.
she.
I don't know what it was. Didn't know what it was. I mean, we used to drink a lot. She loved tequila, you know that.
Yeah.
And she loved smoking her marijuana. So the next day we wake up, we shoot to Arizona. So that day, we all get unpacked, unloaded. I got ready to go to work. So the following day, Stacy calls me. Your mom calls me. She said, "Hey, my mom's not feeling too good." I was like, "Oh, maybe it's just she just has to acclimate to the heat." Because mind you, we're coming from California to Arizona, and it's freaking hot.
Yeah, this was during the summer, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
probably late spring, early summer. So we get home. I get home and we go swimming. And mind you, Joaquin, who's my 24-year-old son, he was 2 at the time. So he was jumping in my arms in the pool, and your Manani didn't know how to swim. So you guys are teaching her how to swim. And then we were talking about the sun and the moon and all this other crazy talk like usual. And then it came to the conversation about dying. So Stacy's always been freaked out about anything morbid, anybody passing. So she said, "Stacy, I'm not going to die unless all my moons and stars are lined up," meaning that there's moons and stars lined up in sequential order or in parallel order. Well, we just happen to look up. We're all in the pool, and Arizona sky is clear any time of the day. And there's 3 planets that are lined up. So 3 stars, 1, 2, 3. And we looked at the stars and we looked at her. We're in the pool and we're like, holy shit, if that's not a prediction, I don't know what was.
Right.
So we kind of left it alone. The next day, you guys go swimming with Danny, Christine, and the girls. You guys go to the lake.
Yeah, that's
I
so
guess,
those are just friends from Arizona.
right, from Arizona. So again, she didn't know how to swim. So she stayed off the shore and you guys were in the water. Mind you, it's a man-made lake in Arizona. So there's no waves, there's no splash, there's no undercurrent, there's nothing. It's stagnant water. So she's up there on the shore saying, "Hey guys, quit fucking wetting me, quit fucking wetting me." So the whole time she's thinking that she was getting wet.
Yeah.
Nobody was around her.
And I actually remember this day very well because I was in the water. And for those who do, this was actually over at Lake Pleasant.
Yes.
Yes. For those who don't know, now Lake Pleasant, it's not a regular beach whether it's sand or dirt that leads into this water. Rock, like hard ass, sharp ass rocks.
Right.
So in order for us to even get remotely close to splashing her, we would literally have to fling water at her maybe 20 feet. If that.
Easy. Yeah, you can't. There's no spritzing shit. And it's hot. You can't just fling some water. It'll dissipate the ground and dry.
Yeah. So just want to put that into context.
Yeah. So you guys are there for the day. I come home from work and getting ready to barbecue, and your mom's like, "Hey, Mom, you don't look too good." And I have to agree. I walk in the house and she's laying down and she's fucking pouring down sweat. So for me, I'm trying to calm your mom down. I'm like, "Hey, babe, just let her relax. She's sweating. It's too damn hot. She's not used to it yet." So your mom's thinking, no, there's something wrong with my mom. I said, "Okay, if you want to take her in, go ahead. I'll be here cooking. Not a problem." Stacy and your grandmother get in the car, go to Thunderbird Samaritan Hospital, which is just down the road. They get out of the car, boom, your nanny passes out. Your grandmother passes out. Your mom scoops her up. She basically lost all of her body, bowel movement, urinal extraction. She basically released. She died. Your mom picked her up, kicked in the door at the hospital. They grabbed your nanny from your mother. They got her they put the paddles on her, revived her, slapped her on the gurney, took her back into the hospital. Boom, she coded again. They brought her back to life. Long story with that is she had a quadruple bypass.
Let me pause you.
Yeah.
Let me pause you real quick because I remember this also based from what Mom told me. And not only did she die, but they didn't put the paddles on her first. That was second. That was the second time. The first time, a doctor who was just passing by, and he was a physician checking, if I'm not mistaken, checking on his other patients, noticed that she had fallen out, and he
Correct.
ran over and gave her CPR by punching her in the chest with a hammer fist.
Maybe you're
Yeah,
probably right. You're
yeah, that's
probably
what
right.
mom said.
Okay.
So for those who watch a UFC or Bellator or whatever kind of MMA fight, a hammer fist is when you hit the butt of your palm from a closed fist onto someone's chest, and that hit, he made such an impact that it jump started her heart for a first time before she coded a second time, to where they had to put those defibrillator pads on.
So they brought her back. He brought her, resuscitated her. They took her in, did a quadruple bypass. Boom, she was alive. Saved her. She smoked a lot. Her growing up the whole time. So she survived. We get out of the hospital. She stays with us for a few months to recuperate. And one of the biggest things for a heart patient is to move. You have to circulate your blood, and circulating blood basically expands and contracts your heart to basically move blood through your body from head to toe. So I took her for a walk. We went to a library that was in Glendale, Arizona. Now, mind you, this library was built on an orange orchard, and on the back of it was a historical monument, kind of like an old homestead farm, and it was a park. Well, it's so huge that they had these peacocks, believe it or not, that used to migrate onto this. You remember the peacocks?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
So I take her to the library. We're in the car. So I get out. We're walking around. And the street back then, it was 59th Avenue and Northern is where we lived. So Northern was a street that went north and south. And these streets were 5 lanes wide. So it was a wide street. Mind you, the speeding limit on the street was 45. So you can
That's
drive
fucking
almost 55 miles an hour on the
insane.
street. And Phoenix is part of Phoenix, into Glendale, Peoria. It's flat, a lot of flat land. There's no hills yet. So we're walking, and I get her out of the car. We're walking past the entry of the library. It's a brand new glass frame library. She loved it. She wanted to go for a walk. And then she just focused on this memorial that was outside by the street. Now, to get to there from where we were at, we'd have to walk down the grassy knoll. No big deal. It was nice. There was no mud. She wasn't going to slip. It had a little decline. It flattened out, and we walked to the curb. Maybe distance from the door to the curb, 30 yards. Very close. So we get over there, and as we're getting there, we're sitting down, and she just happened to start a conversation with this older gentleman. Now, the tree was a memorial dedicated to the soldiers from Pearl Harbor who died in the USS Arizona. So every leaf on the tree was a soldier's name that died either in the bombing or of the bombing. So we just happened to walk up on this older guy. He was a gentleman in a cane, in a walker. He wasn't moving very fast, just like Marlene wasn't. So we decided to sit down next to him on one of the benches, and he's on the bench just diagonal from us. So him and Marlene started talking, and as the conversation progressed, he started talking about how he had what's called survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt. See, he was stationed on that ship the day of the bombing, Pearl Harbor. And it just happened to be that day he had some sort of leave to where he was off of the ship and on shore doing something. So we started talking to him, and he started naming all the men all the soldiers, men and women, that were on the ship. So he knew a bunch of the people that were on these leaves. Now, mind you, this was a bronze tree, and all the leaves were bronze, and each leaf had a name. So he's looking at us and telling us, like, we knew these people. So he's just talking freely and giving us backstories. So it was intriguing. I'm not going to lie. We sat there and talked to him for a few minutes, if not 30 minutes or longer. So then she got tired. She was interested because I was interested in the story, but she got tired and she wanted to go. So we got up, said our goodbyes. You know, we consoled him because he was upset, and we wanted to comfort him somehow, but we could only do so much. So he let us go ahead and go.
So,
And
real quick for those
yeah,
watching, this is what the tree looks like.
there it is.
Yep. So, again, for those who are just listening, I was able to pull up a picture and I'll put it on Instagram also. There are 4 trees that have the names of the individuals. Obviously, because of the way the picture is taken, you can't see the names of them, but it
Right,
is all
right.
bronze.
The leaves look like tags, like
Yeah.
price tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So with that picture up, if you can tell, so we're basically walking. The parking lot is basically to the right of the picture where it says Glendale Public Library.
Mhm.
So we're walking from the bench back to the direction of the Glendale Public Library. And it's not very long, as you can see. So we're walking. Now, you look at the picture, and if you look to the left side of it where the entry is, you'll see that would be the direction of where the street would be. Now, mind you, from the street to that, it's probably 20 yards, 10, 15 yards. So that's 30 feet max. This guy, mind you, did not move fast. He was on a walker. He was a larger gentleman, older, hunchback. Didn't move fast. We didn't move fast because she was a heart patient. So I'm walking the opposite direction. We're saying our goodbye. And she's like, wasn't that a good conversation that we had with that guy? And I said, yeah, that was actually pretty interesting and pretty ironic that we just happened to stumble upon a guy who was supposed to be in this bombing on this ship. But he luckily, unfortunately, he wasn't, well, I can't say that. He made it, but he had survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt. So he was hurt the fact that he couldn't have died with his fallen soldiers. The fallen soldiers.
Which happens quite often for
Yeah.
those who don't know. It doesn't matter what kind of thing that you're in. That happens quite often. Like for people who survived
9/11.
Columbine, 9/11, any major catastrophe like that, they get a guilt or not a guilt or they call it survivor's guilt.
Yeah. So we turn around, start walking, and we probably took a few steps and we wanted to turn around and say goodbye. So we started walking to my car and she's like, hey, I want to turn around and wave one more time. So I turned her around because mind you, she just freshly out of surgery, just a couple of days. But when you have open heart surgery, they give you this pillow you got to hold across your chest. And you're not supposed to move back and forth or any erratic forces to basically your bone has to settle from when they crack you open. So I help her turn around.
I have
and
a
we
story
both,
to tell about your pillow, but go ahead.
So we turn around, and like I said, we only took a few steps. We probably walked 10 feet. Now, mind you, this guy was older than us, much restricted than us. And then, yeah. And then we turn around to say goodbye to him. The dude was gone. Now, if Jim has a picture of, if you're looking at the picture, you'll see 59th Avenue. So from the memorial to the street, it's a pretty good distance. It could be longer, but my point is, you see how big and how large of an area that guy
It's
had to
huge.
cover.
It's huge. And for someone like how you just said in a walker,
He
probably
wasn't
how
going
you
to make it
said,
very fast.
he ain't running down to the
No,
street like that.
no,
And the distance that you had to cover, which I know with her, especially at that time, like you said, you had to walk super slow. So I'm assuming you probably got to right where the mouse cursor is, right about here,
probably
and turned around. And that's
because that was the incline. Because you can see where the parking lot is on the far left.
yeah.
Okay.
So for those
So
listening, listening, the cursor of the mouse from where the memorial is maybe an approximate distance 15, 20 feet, maybe 30.
right.
And
So I help her turn around, and we both look toward the trees, and she's like, "Where'd he go?" And I go, "What do you mean?" And I looked up, and I was like, "What do you mean, where'd he go?" So I look again, and the guy was gone, literally disappeared. Now, if you're looking at it now, Jim has a picture of the street view. So from the street to the memorial, like he said, it's probably 30 to 40 feet. And with the giving the landscape of what he's showing you, there's no way that gentleman could have gotten any further than 5 feet. I guarantee you.
And not only that, he's not hiding behind anything.
There's nothing to hide behind.
You see saguaro cactuses, a light pole, a small ass tree, and then open field. And then you
Mind
got a
you,
couple of bushes.
Those trees have thorns. They're very thorny trees.
Yeah, so
This gentleman is not going to walk behind those trees.
And his big ass ain't climbing the tree either.
No. So we turn around and I look at her and I'm like, holy shit, Mari's gone. And she instantly was like, was that a ghost? I was like, I don't know what the fuck it was, but there's no way at all on this planet that guy could have moved any faster than we did. Even being assisted or even being in better health to move and disappear that quick.
Yeah.
No fucking way in hell. So that's the supernatural part of the story. Now, fast forward. Thankfully, we had a few more years with Marlene in our life, and we were able to move back after I had my heart situation go down in 2008. So we just moved down the street from her house in the town called San Lorenzo is where we live now. So she lived another 15, 16 years. She just
16.
passed 6 years ago. As of January 7th will be the 6-year anniversary.
Damn, well, by the time this comes out, that'd be tomorrow.
So I thought it'd be fit to tell the story. Now, here's the thing about Marlene. She was always into crystals, homeopathic, alignment of the universe, and anything that had to do with
stars.
What do you call that? Astrology,
yeah.
Numerology.
I was going to say astrophysics.
Oh no, she couldn't even say that word. But my point is, she was very much of a homeopathic type of a person, and I'm losing the word to try to describe her. She was just very natural woman. Now, granted, she the later part of her years, she had some heart conditions, and that's unfortunately what took her when she finally passed. But what I'm getting at is prior to the end of the story that I was talking about, she told us, Stacy, Jim, look, I'm not going to pass until my planets are aligned. Okay, so the night came, she passes on, she dies, she's at the hospital. We say our goodbyes.
Yeah.
We say our goodbyes, and then we had a bunch of family members come to the house to help us get the insurance situated, the memorial to go. People want to say their final goodbyes, so we're trying to set up some sort of what do you call that? Celebration of life.
Mm-hmm.
So Stacy goes outside and she's upset and crying, and in our old house, you'd have to walk through the house to get to the back door, and it's directly across from the front door. Well, we have a friend who at the time she came walking out, and I was consoling Stacy because she was upset and crying. She's like, oh my God, look. And we're like, what? And she's like, look. And she took a picture, and there's 3 planets aligned. And that's when we knew, she predicted the time and how she was going to pass. So the story, her intuition was she was not going to make it the day we came to visit her in 2003. If she wouldn't have came with us, she would have had a massive heart attack and died. Stacy had the instinct to realize there's something wrong with my mom. I need to get her to the hospital. Boom. She died, had a heart attack, massive coronary issues. She had a quadruple bypass. We healed her. We ran into this supernatural paranormal thing. We saw a ghost, plain and simple. That gentleman came. We interacted with the full apparition.
That's just insane that you were able to
We were able to smell his cologne.
Jesus.
I was able to see his beard line. He had a goatee like me, but with beard, sideburn, mutton chop. Not very thick, but he was a person. He was a full body thing. He was right in front of me.
Did you ever shake his hand or anything? Did you?
I think I tapped him on the shoulder. I can't remember, but I didn't want to get too close to him. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of uncomfortable. I kind of felt bad for the guy, so I was just like, didn't want it to console him too much and have him cry in my arm. So no, I didn't get too.
You don't want to
close.
have a stranger ghost cry to you?
No, not at all. So, and we get home, we get her home. She lived another 15, 16 years. And sure enough, the planets align, the Earth's synchronicity. 3 planets were standing above me and her, standing below 3 planets that were aligned. And that was basically, we took it as that was her mom's final goodbye to me and Stacy. So,
but if you believe in, supernatural reincarnation, whatever you want to call it, my daughter, which she came unfortunately about a month and 20 some odd days before or after, excuse me, my Nani.
A month and 15 days after.
Month and 15 days. So, and what's even crazier about that is this little girl has a lot of her characteristics. She loves running around barefoot. She loves doing a lot of shit that my Nani did. She's very earthy kind of kid. Very funny. She says, just like everyone, she says some
random shit. She just says random shit.
But that Nani would say like, out of the blue. Like,
absolutely.
Where did that come from? And then go ahead.
No, I'm just go ahead. I'm listening. I'm gonna go off of what yours because I have more stuff to add about your Nani also.
And then like the icing on the cake when it comes to my daughter and my Nani, which is for those who don't know, the Nani is Italian for grandmother, and she hated being called grandmother. She was like, I'm not no fucking grandma. She's smoking her joint. I'm her goddamn Nani. All right, sorry. So, anyways, my daughter was born. We're in post maternity. That's after post maternity. So she was born. We're in the room getting ready to go in the next couple of days to be discharged. Now, also keep in mind, and I said this on a previous episode, the place where my grandmother died, or where my Nani died, is a place where my daughter was born.
Right upstairs.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, there's a test that your newborn child has to go through. It has to do with hearing. So they just want to be able to see if they can react to whatever noise that's being made. And the little headphones for infant children. Well, the woman that came in, the nurse that came in, this is mind-boggling. And I remember this day so vividly that it freaks me out still.
We both do. We all do.
I was going to the bathroom. I went to go take a piss. I took a piss. I washed my hands. I come back out and and then I picked up my daughter. And as I'm holding her, that's when the nurse comes in. She goes, "Hi, just to let you know, I have to do this little hearing test. It's for the baby." Now also keep in mind, a lot of the times when nurses or doctors come into the rooms, they normally introduce themselves right away. She explained what she was doing first before she introduced herself. So once she got all the business part out of the way, she goes, "Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, my name is Marlene." And I can't even describe the face because I know when I looked at her, it scared her. Because
it instantly got cold. The whole room got silent.
Like
we might as well have been suspended in air, all of us, because everybody stopped.
And there was about 6 of us, including her, in there.
Yeah. Even the TV seemed like it got muted. Or turned
everything
off.
Just fucking went.
Just stopped.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And so I said, and I remember the way I thought it was not the way that I said it. I said, "What did you say?" But I know that when I looked at her, was a very
crazy look.
"What the fuck did you just say?"
You gave her a crazy look. That kind of stumped her.
And
we all did.
Yeah. And immediately, I mean, I don't think I've cried that hard since Nani passed.
No, I have to agree. I solely believe. I mean, that's just me personally. I don't care how anybody. I think when one person dies, that makes room for another person.
Oh,
Nani
absolutely.
made way for your daughter, plain and simple. That's how I take it. So that's the way it soothes me, because your mom still is upset, and then
We all are. I mean, there's times where
Sure.
I'm driving home from work,
Sure.
and again, this is how cool and awesome my Nani was. For those who don't know who Little Rob is, she loved Little Rob, okay?
And Nelly.
And Nelly. But there's this particular song, I can't think of the song
Summer
now.
Nights.
Summer Nights, thank you. Summer Nights, and every so often that song will come on my way home from work at late evenings, and I'll just start. I mean, it's an hour and 45-minute drive, so I'm bawling for 5 minutes, but she's very into stuff like that. Sorry.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No. By apps. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but I have to agree that the dead listen. Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
The dead listen. They know when you need them. They know when they need to be. They know when they need to make some sort of a presence to get somebody through something. And for me, like I said, we live in her house right now, and a lot of people don't understand how we do it. Well, we just have to. And I don't think she would have taken it any other way. We're here to help out her husband, which is Stacy's dad. And we're living life the best way we can without her. And everything is progressing upward and onward. And I solely believe that Marlene has a bit to do with that, because we are challenged every day. We being myself, you, Joaquin, Javen, Tim, your dad, your grandpa, Stacy's challenged every day. And there's just something that gets her through. And I have to say that there's some sort of interaction, supernaturally. The dead will visit in your dreams. The dead will show you a sign. You just have to be really aware to acknowledge it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And playing off of what you just said, you're absolutely right. They do listen, and they are there for you, whether you believe it or not, whether you think it's a like how, if you listen to the last episode of Amanda and Cassidy, if you're in an alternate dimension, it's a code that's
Sure.
altered or whatever. Those are your ghosts.
Yep.
Well, the week after Nani had died, my wife and I were living in our first apartment together. My daughter wasn't even born yet. And I'm coming out of the restroom and making my way around the bed. Now keep in mind it's pitch black. It's nighttime. And as I'm coming around the foot of the bed, in the corner, which there was a door that led to a back patio, but it wasn't anything that, like, it's like 2 a.m. I just gotta go take a piss real quick. I'm walking around the foot of the bed, and I hear a voice, to which she hears a voice also. She just hears a voice in the distance. I hear, it's okay. I'm behind you. Now, what the crazy part is, for those who don't know my Nani, and like how you just mentioned, she's a smoker of marijuana, and she was a cigarette smoker for many years.
Heavy smoker.
Heavy smoker, to the point where she had a very raspy voice. Very raspy voice. So it's very hard to hide something like that characteristic of yourself or someone. So when I heard it's okay, I'm behind you, and I didn't take it as maliciously, it was more of a comfort. Like, it's okay. I'm here.
You weren't afraid.
Yeah. So it just they do listen. They are there to help, whether you believe it or not. Whatever it is that you want to believe in, that's your beliefs. We personally believe in spirituals, ghosts, and paranormal.
Absolutely.
It's hard not to.
Now, just
hard
things
not
happen
to.
in your life, the synchronicity of and parallel, whatever it is. We're not that smart. We just know what we go through. We can't put a title on what it is, but I know my afterlife story is legit. I know the story I just told you is legit. The stories we tell about the stuff we experience is legit.
Yeah,
We're not wanting praise or notoriety. We're just doing this to entertain people, and to get people through the day. That's the purpose
literally.
of
We're
the
not
podcast.
making any profit off this, guys.
No, hell no. This is our
Hell,
pastime. This is our hobby. Hell,
this is
we
shit that
will
we just
we
talk on
plug.
a daily
Yeah,
basis.
we talk to people who are definitely leaps and bounds better than we are. But the point of it is, we interact with these people, and we learn from them. Basic. It's as basic as that. And we get to know these people. So, anyway, we're rambling now. You might want to cut the last 5 minutes out of that.
Nah, I'm not cutting. But yeah, so that was the story that you were gonna tell. That was the story of my Nani. I'm not even drunk.
Marlene.
Nani
Yeah.
Marlene. Which is cool. I'm very fortunate that we can tell her story and people can kind of get to know. And she's okay. I have one story about her, not after she died. It's about her marijuana. So I'll tell this, but before we cut it, this was what 2010 when we went to the Woodstock anniversary. Was it 2010? I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So the goo ball, exactly. So for those who don't know, Golden Gate Park is a huge place. There's many different names of it. There's Golden Gate Park, which is what it's historically known as. Hippie Hill. There was another one that they call it. I can't think of the name right now, but there's so many different names of it. Well, it holds a lot of concerts, also festivals. This one,
It's a venue.
This one in particular was the 40th anniversary of Woodstock, which was freaking awesome. And the way that we were able to go was my grandfather, her husband. He knew, and again, if you listen to the previous episode, my dad kind of explains what he used to do. He used to own a bar, and he housed many different bands. From what was it, Jefferson All Star, or no,
Jefferson Starship.
Jefferson Starship.
Eddie Money.
Eddie Money.
Tower of Power.
I mean, literally, like top tier names that you could think of in rock and roll.
Yeah, now they are. Back then, they were just
they were garage bands.
Yeah, or living room bands. There were nobody. Danny Chauncey, who plays for 38 Special, Brad Gillis, who plays for Night Ranger. All these guys would come out of the Bay Area, and he had
the Allman Brothers.
Yeah, Greg Allman was his good friend. And I mean, when we were living here, when Marlene first passed, Greg Allman would reach out to him numerous times. We got his messages on the damn answering machine that he said.
No way.
Yeah, somewhere there's like 1,000 messages, but yeah, no, it's on tape somewhere.
I got to hear that. So, anyways, we go to this venue, and because, like I said, he knows so many people, he was able to get backstage all access passes. Like, we didn't pay. We literally pulled up, and they were like, "Here's your backstage pass. Put it around your neck. Go have fun." Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
So, again, it's a hippie thing. Woodstock was all hippies, and boobies were out, and penises were flashing, and balls were scraping against the grass. That shit was wild.
It was wild. It was fun.
It was wild and fun.
Time.
Now, to the goo ball. This woman, 100% hippie, was like, listen, this isn't edible. For those who are watching, it was about the size of this microphone.
Yeah.
Like, it was huge. And what she said was, listen, it's made out of oil, like coconut oil.
Hemp oil. The THC, it was the psychedelic part of the marijuana plant, which is the THC, and it's a high concentrated dose.
And this is the important part. She said this ball will last you a month and a half.
A small lady like you,
Yeah.
it'll last a month and a half.
My Nani was tiny. She was what, 5'2", 5'3"?
If that.
If that. Tiny, 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 tiny woman. And she was like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about that. This woman decided on the hours that we were there to just eat this chocolate goo ball. And she was like, this is really good. And by the time we turn around, it's literally halfway gone. Like
between your mom and her, your mom took a big bite of it too.
She did. She just took oh God, I remember that.
Took a big bite.
She took a fat bite. But anyway, so as this progress, now if you've ever taken an edible, it hits different than when you smoke a joint, at least from what I've been told.
Yeah.
And so by the time I think we were getting ready to
we were leaving. We were leaving.
And she was like, oh, she started going, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And she just became like transparent, like a ghost white. And I've never in my life seen somebody fall in slow motion. She was like, I can't move anymore. And she just literally, like, if all her muscles just tightened up, she just slowly fell to the floor and then went,
It was like the Terminator movie when the bad Terminator gets frozen from the liquid.
The liquid.
Yeah. He starts taking a step and he gets shorter and shorter, shorter and shorter. And that's what happened to her. She got shorter and shorter and shorter to where she just face planted and it went,
That part was really the funniest thing, and it was funny, and obviously we were like, oh shit,
we were scared.
No, the sober people were scared.
Yeah, we were scared.
The two stoners were fucking losing their mind, and my mom was she was high off of her. She didn't even know what was going on.
She melted in the chair, the van. We had the van then. She's literally just melted. Your mom's loud, obnoxious, and she just talks a lot. But the first time she had this edible, she was comatose.
Yeah, she was like,
comatose, just like her non. We had to get the paramedics out of the tent. They come rushing over for your grandmother. They're like, "What's the matter, man?" She's like, I mean, she couldn't talk. She was just sweating fucking bullets. Everybody thought she was having a heart attack. They're like, "Well, what did you eat?" And she had the wrapper of the thing left. That's how come they knew. Oh, ma'am, it's a THC overdose.
I remember she threw up. Nani threw. By the time she got down to the floor, she went, yeah, like that, and just a little bit of something came out.
It was just whatever was in her stomach.
Man, good times.
It was fun.
It was great times.
Missed very much.
Very, very much. So before we get out of here,
afterlife.
Me too. Before we get out of here, I have one question now. You and I are pretty big fans of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
A lot of podcasts, a lot of things that that I've listened to over the years is mainly from you, to be totally honest. So with that being said, have you recently seen what happened to stand-up comedian and podcaster Tom Segura?
No.
No?
No,
oh man, I gotta show you. Sure. So,
this
This is Tom. For all intensive purposes, I'm not going to be able to play the audio of it, only because I could get in trouble. So what I'm going to do for those watching or for those listening, he's sitting on a workout bench, smiling, real big shit eating grin on his face. So I'm going to let it play.
Ooh. What did he break?
So let me go back a few seconds. He jumps, and this whole thing was him and another comedian, Bert Kreischer, were going. They had this challenge of a slam dunk competition Tom is now referred to as the dunk champion after this video. And so what had happened was he went up to go dunk, and as you can see, he starts to jump and immediately hits the floor. Now, if you watch, his arm lands behind him. His left arm lands behind his back. His left knee kind of is like tucked underneath him. And then he kind of just flops over like a dead dog. Here's another angle. Boom.
I don't want to see anymore, dude.
So
I don't want to see anymore.
What he ended up doing, watch his arm.
No.
What he ended up doing, look at his arm. There's Bert trying to help him, and he ends up moving
backwards. It's fucking backwards.
His arm, he broke his humerus. That is where your bicep is, your tricep. That is one of the thickest bones in your arm, and he snapped it in half.
Hell no, dude. That is gross. I don't want to see that. You can go ahead and take that off the screen, dude.
He broke that over in that was on December 1st. And they just released that footage for New Year's. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that before we got out of here.
Gee, thanks.
No problem. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for
it's on the counter.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode. It's really just us hanging out and telling the story about my grandmother.
Yeah.
Please be sure to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Also, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit the share button, and always hit that notification bell. So that way, when we post new videos, you will get notified every single time.
And even if you leave a shitty review, let us know what we need to change.
Something.
Jesus, you fucking cocksucker.
something so that we can enjoy not enjoy, but
this is fun for us guys. And like I said, fun, silly, slap shit stick. This is the place to live. Yeah, whatever. But we do love, and we listen to a lot of very professional and very noticeable. They have notoriety. This is just for fun, guys. So anyway, you can leave a review. Let us know what we need to improve, or eat a dick.
Also, with that being said, just to let people know, we have one new announcement before we get out of here. For those watching, you can see it, and I will definitely post this on Instagram. But we are going to be having shirts coming out soon. This is going to be a thank you. Here it is, the shirt. Bo Talks with Big Jim podcast. We are going to have shirts coming out. These are kind of like trial runs so far. We only have a handful made. But like I said, I will be posting this on Instagram. If this is something that you all would enjoy to have, let me know. Let us know. And we will be getting some
more.
Yeah. We will be getting some more shirts out soon.
But right now, we're just going to be handing out a few to some of our past guests as an appreciation, token of our appreciation.
Absolutely.
So don't feel out of place if you're not one of the chosen ones yet.
Yet.
Right. So enjoy. Anyway, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2021. Let's hope shit doesn't get any more fucked up than it already is.
It shouldn't.
Love you all. Thank you.
All right. We out.
Peace.
Peace.